Hey everyone, I hope you're having a beautiful sunny day. I don't know if this video does it justice, but it is just like such a beautiful day here. God made such a beautiful day, and I wanted to make a video, a little story about something. I get so excited to tell this story. There are people in my life that already know this story because it just makes me so happy, and I think it is such a great story of how God can work in your life. So, a little backstory. My absolute favorite flowers are the ones that come out around Easter. Are they called hyacinths? I'm not even 100% sure. Is that right? The kind that just smell like Easter. Like, I absolutely love them. They're my favorite flower. And every Easter, before Easter, my husband brings me home one to sit on our mantle because I just love them. I love the smell of them, everything about them. So he used to work at this grocery store, and they would get these flowers in around Easter. And one year they got several boxes of these flowers that came in, and when they came in, they were in these like little glass bulb vases, and they were just like little flowers. I guess there was like, if you wanted to plant it as a starter, but all of the little glass, not all of them, a lot of them were broken. All the water was dumped out of them. They all look dead. But my mom told me one time that you plant the dead bulbs if you're going to plant them. So he bought them for like a super discounted price and brought them all home, all the boxes, and sorted out like the broken vases and stuff he threw away. But sorry, there's an airplane going over now. But the vases that weren't broken, he saved, and they had like little flowers that bud, and they were like, little Easter flowers, and we had a ton of them. And we set them all around the house for Easter, and then we had some out on the porch. I gave some, my dad was living down the road a few houses, and so we gave some for them to sit around. Well, then we just put them in our shed. Actually, no. At this point, we hadn't given them to my dad's house. Sorry, let me go back. When he first got them, we didn't know what to do with them. It wasn't time to plant them. They weren't quite dead, so he just put them in the boxes in the shed. And like we do a lot of stuff, we put them there and forgot about them. We always say we're going to put stuff where we'll remember where it is, and then we forget where that place is. That's like a running joke between me and my husband. So anyway, these flowers were in these boxes in our shed with no water, no light for a few years. I'd say at least 3 years. And one day my husband was going out to clean out the shed, and he was like, "You are not going to believe this." It wasn't even springtime when he did it. It wasn't a time flowers should bloom. They were in there for years with no water and no light. He brought out these boxes, and they were like green shoots and starting to get flowers. And I was like, there is no way. There's no way. So we still had a lot of them, and this is when we sat them around the house, and we took some down to where my dad was living for them to put on their windowsill. And then, of course, like these flowers, if you know the ones I'm talking about, I'll try and find a picture and post, because it's crazy that I can't remember the name right now of the flower, and they're my favorite. But they do die every year, so they smell so good and they're so nice for Easter, and then they die, and then my mom says you can plant the dead bulbs and they'll come up again. We never had much luck with planting. Like, I've tried to plant them before around our yard and stuff and never saw them come up. So when these bulbs that were blossoming in the dark shed with no water for years died here, my husband was like, "Do we want to save them or get rid of them?" I said, "Let's try and plant them." So I'm sitting out here. This is in front of our house. We have like a section that is white rocks and red rocks. He did it real nice. So he made these, let me see, I hope I'm holding this camera right, but he made these like circle things with brick and filled it with, let me see if I don't think I could flip this camera. See, I'm not so good at this tech stuff, but I'll put a picture. But he made these circles, and we just like filled it with some dirt that we bought, I don't know, at one of the like home stores. And we just put the dead bulbs in there, and he was like, "Do you want me to fertilize it? Do you want me to cover it with something? Do you want to whatever?" And I was like, God grew these from the dark with no water, so let's just see what he does. So that was probably a year ago that he planted these, and all of a sudden, like several weeks ago, we started seeing like the green shoots come up. And it's been a crazy winter here. Like, I live in North Carolina, and we never get snow and stuff, but we had like inches and inches of snow this year, and it's been like super cold. and it's nice and sunny today, but like last night it rained so hard that like where our yard is, which is actually just like sand, it's like now covering our driveway. Like it rained so hard that stuff got just like pushed all over the place. Branches fell down. It was so windy. It was crazy. But these flowers are still here, and I was gonna make this video a couple weeks ago because there was actually colorful flowers coming out of them, and then something ate the flowers off the top. So now there's a few flowers coming back, so I wanted to make this video to show you these flowers. And the whole point that I love about this story and everything is these flowers were in a dark place with no water for years, and God still grew them. So now when my husband's like, do you want me to water them? Do you want me to get them extra fertilizer? Do you want me to put like fencing over them so nothing can eat them? And I was like, no, let's just see what God does, because he grew these from nothing. So let's just let God grow them. Like, we're just going to enjoy the beauty that God gave us that we had nothing to do with. And it's such a good reminder of like our lives. Like, God gave us his son when we didn't do anything. We didn't work for it. We didn't deserve it. We don't do anything now that we are deserving of it. We can never be grateful enough, no matter how grateful we think we are. It's not enough of what God gave us. And you might be in a dark place right now with no light and no water and think you're not going to grow, but God can do anything. So it doesn't matter what situation you're in or how bad you think it is. Just stick with God, stick with Jesus, just keep praying about it. You never know what could happen. Like, we were just like, will these grow at all? I don't know. And there's actual flowers, and every time I get out of my van and see these, it just makes me so happy, and it's such a good reminder. So I'm gonna figure out how to flip this camera around and show you these flowers. Now, it did rain like crazy last night. I see one of the flowers is broken off a little, but I'll try and point out where more are coming. And then over there, like, we have that fire pit right there. Over there is another circle with some more flowers that are coming up. So I'm going to show you these flowers. But I just wanted to say that no matter where you are in life, God's got you. I don't know when or how your situation's going to change, because only God knows that. But stick with the giver, and he has the gifts. This is a gift from God, from the giver, that we had nothing to do with. And so that's why I'm not going to fertilize these flowers, water these flowers, whatever God wants to do with these flowers. And hopefully, like in a few months or whenever they are like in full big bloom, I'll take another video and give you a little update of that. So these are the flowers. You can see all the green. This is where the rain kind of broke this one off a little bit. It's still hanging on a little, so I'm gonna leave it here and I'll give life. Here's a little purple one. Here's another pink one. This right here, this is where somebody ate one off that. This is starting to come up a little bud. Oh my goodness, so pretty. And this is the circle there, and I'm gonna walk over and show you the other one. You can see, because of the rain, some of the dirt's like coming out of the circle. Some of the rocks are getting here. But here's another one that's gonna be a white flower, and they're all different colors. It's just so pretty. Here's a purple one. Over there, there's a couple that are coming out, and they're real little right now, but I wanted to make the video before something else ate them.